I'm pretty sure that's getting cut from the highlights.
Year. Anyways, so be sure to join us next week. Again, we start at 8 p.m. Pacific time. That's 11 Eastern every Friday night. And be sure to check out our website. That is SoGoodGaming.com. We are live now on the tubes of you. Wanted to welcome you to the So Good Gamecast. If you are joining us today, you are going to watch us struggle at playing Overwatch. We're going to talk about the PlayStation 4 Slim and Pro. We're going to talk about iPhone 7 and then some other shenanigans in between. We got Alex, aka Fat. We got
Hello.
Shatterfur.
Yeah, whatever.
We got Dirty Bird and Mr. Phoenix. And then as you can see now, Bones has just joined us. Welcome to the show, Bones, aka Dirty Bird Girl. No?
What did you just say?
I don't know.
Did you just say Dirty Bird Girl?
Yeah.
She's my sister, not my fucking girlfriend.
I didn't say Dirty Bird's girl. I did not. I did not.
And the first F-bomb.
I did not. Yeah, what is Scott?
Her gamer tag is Scarred. Scar Red.
Oh, okay, Scar.
Caroline.
Scar. So now we got Scar. All right. So let's start with the PlayStation news since that's gaming related. So essentially, you have the PS4 Slim, and then the PS4 Chubby.
Stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks.
I do like the design of the PS4 Pro and the PS4, the new PS4, because it's not the PS4 Slim, it's the new PS4. It kind of upsets me that it's not just called the PS4 Slim and that they're discontinuing the original PS4. Like, I mean, that's what they've done in the past, discontinued the original, but I really like the body style and the feel of the original PS4, and it kind of sucks that they're taking that option away from consumers, that the new PS4 is the only choice if you're going with the base model.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, because they're not manufacturing the one that I have now, right? They're stopping that and only producing the Slims, though. They're not making the old ones anymore. They're making new ones. For not making the new ones.
Does anybody know if it's lacking anything that the original had? I don't know, less USB ports or anything like that?
I did not read anything up about like whether or not
What the
it was
freak?
lacking anything. What I did read up about though is basically that the actual Pro, the new model that they're introducing, is going to allow 4K resolution. Next week we all get the HDR update, so whether or not you have the Pro or the Slim or the original console, you'll still get the HDR update.
Which
Now,
is
some people
useless
that don't
unless you have a
know
4K TV. Unless you have a
Exactly.
4K UHD TV, unless you have a 4K UHD
it's completely
TV,
useless.
the HDR is useless because you will not experience it.
The only thing that I was like, what you guys doing to me? When I read about the PS4 Pro was they're going to make it, the hardware upgrade literally makes it so that you're pretty much going to get higher frame rates. For me, that's like, okay, are you guys testing the market right now? Like, I feel that's what they're doing. They're kind of dipping their toes in the market, it seems to me, and they're trying to be like, okay, so if this sells really well, what we're going to do is we're going to have a press conference 2 years from now, and we're going to introduce the PS4 Plus Pro.
If they get a new console every 2 years, instead of doing the generations like PS4, PS5, PS6, if they do this every 2 years and update the hardware, I'm not going to be upset with that. One, because the games will always be backwards compatible.
Yeah, no, I have
That's
no
the
problem.
hope.
But here's the problem I do have with that is why? Why, Sony, did you go the Apple model and say PS4 Pro? This is so clearly the PS4K. It was such a perfect naming opportunity, and they just screwed the pooch.
I don't mind the naming. It's just the concept behind constantly updating the console and having it backwards compatible. It doesn't bother me so much as it's just like,
Because it's not a necessity.
Hang on a second.
It's just
It's only
it seems
backwards
to me it's
compatible
like,
with PS4 games, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Right.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, but
You'll have.
but
Okay,
if-
so
We got viewer number 2 joining us. Welcome.
if they actually roll out with an update every 2 years, fine, whatever. What my concern is why wouldn't I then just go get a PC? Because that's basically what you're doing.
here's the difference, Pat. A PC, you have to worry about drivers. A PC, you have to worry about what kind of hardware is going to work. With the PlayStation, even if they're updating it every 2 years, you never have to worry about drivers. You never have to worry about hardware. Basically, you upgrade and it works.
You can
Okay,
even get a USB.
real
drive.
quick. Let's name off the games that have come out in the last 6 months on PC. Like Batman. I mean,
Oh no.
No Man's Sky.
That's an
They all
entirely-
have
oh.
horrible issues, and yes, it's easier than it used to be. I grant you that. I'm not saying that it's super hard to replace.
software, and that's in the hands of the developer being really lazy
Okay,
porting.
well, I'm just
But,
saying things are smoother and easier on the console, and you won't have to worry about all that crap. I am a tech nerd. I am like one of the fucking most knowledgeable fucking random
I can
tech
vouch. I can
guys.
vouch.
I don't want to put up with the pain of dealing with that.
Well, you
How
and I
many
differ.
people do you know? How many people do you know that call you and say, "Hey, my computer's not working," and it's something ridiculously stupid and easy to fix? You see what I'm saying? People don't know how to keep PCs running. People don't know how to keep them running smoothly. Whereas me, a tech guy, my computer runs like a whistle. And if it's not running like a whistle, I know how to fix it so that it's running like a whistle very quickly thereafter. But I don't even PC game because it's just a headache. No, I don't PC game because it's just easier to game on the PS4.
And everybody's in the same grounds, like same level. So it's not like
Yeah,
someone's
I
working
know
on a
that
better
everybody
processor
using
than
the
me.
PS4 has the same CPU. The game's going to run the same for everyone. I prefer using a controller. If you like to game with a keyboard and mouse, then PC's basically your only choice.
I actually hate keyboard. That's a story for a different day. No, I get where you're coming from. I just
Well, I mean, we never really got off the fact of, what's new about the Pro and, who's going to get it, who's not.
I've had a lot of people talking about how, they've been wanting to upgrade to the 1 terabyte.
Mm-hmm.
And going and doing that, buying the PS4, you're gonna be throwing down $300 for that, and then you're gonna turn around and spend another $80 on a 1 terabyte hard drive.
That's true.
Or 2 terabyte, depending on which kind you get. And they're starting off with an improved GPU and the terabyte. It's going to be worth your money. Even if you went and did a trade-in, you're going to get a better bargain with this new with the PS4 Pro.
But what if you're like me?
We're going to upgrade.
What if you're like me
But-
and feel like there's no reason to get the new one?
But see, there's the
Then-
other thing is, for us that already own PS4s, the difference isn't huge because they're not changing like the graphics card. It's still going to be the AMD processors in there. It's still going to be the same processing power. The only difference is the GPU when it comes to processing. And GPU, honestly, is just what you see. So in other words, they're saying they're going to add 4K.
which is great. If
Does
you
that
have a
make
4K
sense?
Monitor. Yeah, no, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
but on the whole,
Well, no,
the
it's not.
exact
It's not
same
only.
machine
It's not only
with
4K because
improved looking.
yes, and if you don't have a 4K TV, so here's one thing: unless you have a 4K TV, a compatible HDMI cable, and if you're using a surround sound or a entertainment center, you're also going to need that to be compatible with 4K. Unless you have those three things, you're not going to get 4K and you're not going to get HDR. But
No,
If
you
you-
can get the
if
HDR.
you-
They have 1080p HDR that you can go buy.
okay, most people who have TVs do not have HDR on their TV.
That's true.
No, but they do
mean,
have it, and it's not as expensive as 4K. I mean, if you're going to go buy a new TV and a PS4, the HDR TV 1080p are going to look better than your 4Ks because they're more.
Okay, then let's just say this: HDR is not really deciding factor in this because it's on both machines, so that point is mute.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do have a
you're right.
1080p, if you have a 1080p TV and you get a PlayStation Pro, then you are going to see faster frame rates and smoother gameplay. And you may also see better graphics. Yes, it's not going to be a higher resolution, but you might not have as much pop-in. Textures might load faster, things like
No,
that.
it's a new GPU. It's gonna be. It's pretty much everything's gonna load.
Is it a new
faster and
GPU, or are they
frame
just
rate's
doubling up on the Jaguar?
I think it's a new GPU.
I thought
it's,
the GPU is the
GPUs.
Jaguar, AMD Jaguar. They're just
Yeah.
putting 2 of them in there.
That
Yes.
is, yeah. They said it's double the processing power of the current one.
That
Oh.
I mean, basically, whether or not they were like doing some kind of crossfire Radeon with inside the PS4, or whether or not it was a brand new GPU. I mean, yeah, if it was a brand new GPU, it would be better. But if they're still doing the crossfire type configuration for a PS4, however you would do that, I don't know.
Even if they're doing
If
the
they-
same
if they're doing that,
configuration,
it
I'm
would
pretty
still be
sure it's
better.
a new GPU.
Yeah. Also, we got a commenter, R King. He's also saying it's all, and also the PlayStation VR too. That's a huge aspect of the Pro, is that it's going to
Yeah,
have an
very
advantage
true.
when it comes to the VR. It'll run 60 more natively.
Yeah, it's probably going to run
Yeah.
like night and day on the Pro and the old PS4 or the original PS4. That is true.
I mean,
You're also
but
going to
one
need an
thing-
adapter for the, if you get PlayStation VR for the original PS4.
But one thing,
It's,
going back to the HDR, is in the battle between Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox with their S was one of the big selling points that they said, oh, the Xbox One S is going to have HDR, you got to come buy it though. And PlayStation just came out and said, yeah, no, we're giving everyone free. And I think that just is awesome.
I mean, cool on them, but I mean, can I call it out? Is there even a fight anymore? Is that still a thing?
What fight?
Are we still there? Like between Xbox and PS4, like.
You know what?
I thought this
Someone
was
actually
decided,
brought that
like,
up.
2 years ago.
No, yeah, I thought it was over too, but apparently with the whole Scorpio coming out, it's not even
It's
out yet,
risen
but
again.
people are already, it's risen back up because you have the PS4 Pro versus Scorpio. Because the
doesn't
PS4
even
Pro
matter. It's-
has like a 4 point something, giga or teraflop, whatever, whereas the Scorpio is going to have like 6 point something teraflops. So I don't know, those
So
are just numbers
here-
I'm throwing out there, but that's, yeah.
Here's what
know.
I have to say about that. All right. Yeah, the Scorpio is probably going to be better in all regards, but one, the player base is already on PS4. Two, the PS4 Pro comes out well before the Scorpio. We're talking a year's advantage. And remember what happened last generation? Last
Yeah.
generation, the Xbox
The
360
360 came out a year
earlier, and it killed the PS3 because it had the player base. I don't think people are going to jump ship from the PS4, from PlayStation Network, to Xbox One because the software on the Xbox One sucks. If you watch Achievement Hunter, which are adamant Microsoft fanboys, they constantly say that the software on the Xbox One sucks.
So, the one thing I wanted to mention in regards to that conversation we were just talking about, there is something that's coming out soon that can definitely be a huge game changer, and that's
think you
remote
just
play to
defined
your
the
mobile
Xbox
device. I can right now. I have a Windows phone. I have a preview program on my phone, and I can remote play my Xbox One to my phone and use the new Xbox One controller Bluetooth with my phone and play my Xbox anywhere. So I don't have to necessarily have like a Vita or whatever. If I have my mobile device, I download the app and I can connect my Xbox, turn it on, turn it off, whatever I want to do with it.
Well, if that becomes a game changer, then Sony will do that with Android.
Oh,
phones.
of course. No, of course they're going to do that. I mean, it's a given.
They can. It just takes like a tweak because they're doing it with the Sony Ericsson phones. It's like an exclusive. It's part of a reason why you would buy the Sony Ericsson, because you can remote play your PS4.
Let's talk about the one thing that they screwed up majorly on the PS4 Pro. You can't play 4K Blu-rays on it.
And that's something they could
How
patch
does that
later,
make
right?
sense?
I mean, it sounds like easily that's something they're going to patch later.
No, it's not. They
No,
don't
that's
put
hardware.
the.
It's not native 4K, it's upscaled, right?
No. Okay.
No,
PS4
So the
Pro,
CD player.
you can play native 4K content from like
Streaming
from
services,
streaming
YouTube,
services.
Netflix.
Oh, right,
But
but
you
like
can't
the...
do 4K Blu-rays
That's so
Oh,
weird.
so
because the
does
disc
that,
drive is
what,
not UHD capable.
but does that mean that the games won't be 4K?
No, the games.
No, the
will
games can be
4K.
4K because that's done through the graphics card and stuff.
Thank you.
It's not you're not taking a 4K image from the disc and putting it on screen. That's being processed in the game, in the console. But you cannot watch 4K UHD Blu-ray discs
Does anybody have any idea why that would be?
They didn't
because they
wanna
wanted to
pay
save
the
money
extra
because they
change.
wanted to sell it for $400.
Back to earlier here, Silent was talking about the PS4 Pro. He says if you have enough for the VR, then you should have no problem getting the PS4 Pro. But most of us, like
That's true.
me, sadly, are unable to get that at launch. On to the next topic I wanted to touch on was the Apple announcements, the iPhone 7. Just to bring our tech side into this.
Don't buy it.
You are so courageous.
It
Don't
is.
buy it.
It is probably. This is gonna really be the iPhone that separates the fanboys from the people who just like iPhone.
Don't
Because
buy it.
the fanboys are gonna buy this. The people who just have an iPhone are not gonna buy this. They're just gonna hang on to their
Right,
6 or
iPhone 7.
6S. Because I mean, let's think about it. And keep in mind, it is not waterproof.
No.
It is water resistant. There's a huge difference.
It's
Go
the
look at
same
the
water
sales.
resistance that's in the Samsung phone.
More
I mean, it's
people are
as
buying
waterproof as a
the
phone's going to
iPhone
get.
SE than they are the 6 and 6S. More people are going to the S5 imitation than they are the 6, the 6S. And supposedly the 7 is going to get less people because the SE is out. And the SE, I just got one for my wife and she loves it. It's basically the iPhone 5S with the same hardware as the 6 and 6S. And honestly, after using it, the idea of going to 7, simply because of the headphone jack, is useless. But on top of that, some of the software choices that Apple is deciding to make is just retarded. Their 3D Touch is completely useless. Their Apple Pay is turning out incredibly flawed. Yeah, so don't buy the 7. Go get yourself an SE. It's only going to cost you $300. It's going to be just as powerful.
I wrote an article, 5 things that the iPhone 7 could use rather than a post-Steve Jobs innovation. All right? And when I wrote this, I posted it on the Apple subreddit, and I got murdered for it. They were like, I don't need... Cause one of the
heads are there.
two of the things that I put down, one of them was a better camera, like a camera worth bragging about, right? The other thing that they bragged about was the better battery life, because it can, the consumption of the apps, whatever they did with, I guess, iOS 10 is making the apps consume less battery usage, so it makes the battery life the longest lasting iPhone to date.
I have an iPhone for work.
Does anyone have anything positive to say about the iPhone 7? I will say I am pretty happy that they are updating the camera so to give it better aperture, so you can get better low light pictures. Aperture. Other than that, Bones, you had something to say about MLG, right?
Major League Gaming just hired it just stole one of the top executives from Fox Sports and made him the CEO, which means Major League Gaming, owned by Activision Blizzard, has now the 2 original Major League Gaming guys, plus they have the ex-CEO of ESPN and one of the top executives from Fox Sports. This is pretty big news in the esports world because these are some of the biggest names in the sporting industry, and they're coming over to esports. Honestly, if you buy stocks, I would highly suggest looking into these companies because there's things happening. Like the esport community is going to grow huge.
Do you think that there's going to be major shifts that are negative towards the actual community and the sports, the players that actually participate in it? Or do you think
No.
it's going to be... Or do you
No,
think it's
no,
just going
I
to remain
think-
more or less the same and become more popular? Or what?
I think that we're going to be having the Super Bowl of sports happening now, and
Okay.
we will have more broadcasting. We'll have more publicity for esports communities. I mean, you're going to see the esports community explode.
Yeah,
It's
better
gonna turn
broadcasting
more
is to make
into,
a huge difference. That's for sure.
Major side note, World of Warcraft has gone up above 10 million subscribers again. So from Cataclysm to now, because in what was it, Mist of Pandaria, they went down to 4.5 million subscribers playing. Now they're back up to 10. That's pretty good.
Is it like a pity rejoin because they heard that it went down, or?
Honestly, I haven't been keeping up on the news until today when in work someone finally said, all right, here's what's happening with Legion, and this is why it's the greatest game ever made again. And I sat there listening to him going, oh, I need to go look this up. So I went and read some of the stuff that they're doing in Legion, and the main thing that they're doing is they're bringing the game back to single player aspect while playing with friends. They're doing a lot more lore, a lot more character-based lore. Every race and spec has its own quest lines now. They've changed a lot of dungeons, and they're revisiting a lot of old lore from Warcraft 1 and 2. Their first expansion they've already announced is going to be in Karazhan, which is one of their most successful raids ever. They are improving and bringing the game back to what vanilla WoW actually was.
Sweet. Can't wait for the South Park episode.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Appreciate you joining us today. We had several people join and leave the stream throughout the show, but we had about 4 people. Just want to thank you for joining us tonight as we attempted to play this game. Some games we wrecked, other games we got wrecked. And be sure to join us next week. Again, we start at 8 p.m. Pacific time. That's 11 Eastern every Friday night. And be sure to check out our website. That is SoGoodGaming.com. Feel free to pop a comment there, join our forums, and get involved. Community Game Night is on. Community Game Night is on September 17th. We're going to do it during the day, so probably around 3 p.m.-ish Mountain Time. That's 2 p.m. Pacific. Anyways, be sure to join us then and join and play with us. We'll even stream it a bit and have some fun. If there's anything we can do better, let us know. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, and comment in the future. Appreciate some people reaching out today and commenting on the show. You have an excellent night, and stay so good, baby!